Tehelka chief Tarun Tejpal has sought time till Saturday to appear before Goa Police in the sexual assault case. Goa Police had sent a notice to Tejpal to appear before them by 3 p.m. today after the woman journalist had recorded her statement in the presence of a magistrate in Panaji. Delhi High Court will pronounce its decision on Tejpal's anticipatory bail petition tomorrow. Tarun Tejpal, meanwhile, is facing allegations of a sexual assault on a woman colleague during the magazine's Think Fest program in Goa on 7th and 8th of this month.
Well, the DIG of Goa, the Mishra, speaking to the media of the latest developments taking place, telling us that Tarun Tejpal has failed to appear as per the deadline of 3 p.m. and giving the media the answer of how it was considered the travel time required to Goa, and thus the 3 p.m. deadline was given. Also, we'll remind our viewers that Tarun Tejpal had sought an extension for appearance in front of the Goa Police, but this comes as a huge blow now because the investigating officer has been told by DIG of Goa has not accepted that extension of appearance for Tarun Tejpal, and the DIG also telling us that further proceedings in the case are to begin according to law. Logical steps will be taken according to law is what DIG of Goa Mishra has just confirmed to the media while he was addressing that press conference.
The investigating officer of the case to Shri Tarun Tejpal to appear before the investigating officer at 3 p.m. today. Is served on him and received also by his family members, but till 3 p.m. he failed to appear, and around 12 o'clock a fax was received which was signed by Shri Tejpal. The letter was addressed to the investigating officer of the case seeking extension for appearance. Since he is not in Goa, he sought appearance by Saturday. The same copy was served by one of the advocates also here at the crime branch office in Dona Paula. The request for appearance was taken into account by the investigating officer of the case. Keeping in view the seriousness of the offence, the investigating officer has not accepted the request for extension, and she is further proceeding in this case as per law empowered.
It doesn't, cut ice, or nobody would really buy that this is just about an issue about jurisdiction itself. This is probably to buy time more because he's already asked for another 2 days to the Goa Police, 2 days extension time. He says he can't come today. He couldn't come at 3 o'clock. The deadline has passed because he needed more time. He only got this notice yesterday at around 10:45 last night when his wife was given this summons by the Goa Police, and he could not make enough, the arrangements to travel to Goa. Now, the Goa Police has completely, trashed that argument, saying, in fact, off record, many of them said that this is not London, we have called him, which is 8 to 10 hours away. This is Goa. It's just 2 hours away. Why couldn't he really have come? And then they could have, proceeded with whatever action they had to take. And that, of course, was arrest. So the belief is he was not coming here to evade arrest itself, and he wanted to wait for the Delhi High Court hearing. But now he has once again, withdrawn his petition of anticipatory bail from the Delhi High Court. What we are hearing is that he could file it in Goa itself. Now, again, what this would mean is some more time he can buy by having the proceedings heard in Goa once again here. The Delhi Police, his lawyers will come and argue right here. The Goa Police will argue. That will give him another 2-3 days. It also is a weekend. So he hopes that this buys him more time. But the Goa Police is very clear that they want to really go ahead and arrest him as soon as possible.
Well, Shoma Chaudhury, who resigned from the post of Managing Editor of Tehelka this morning, has given her statement of defense to Shamina Shafiq, member of the NCW. Remember, the NCW had asked Shoma Chaudhury to appear before them, considering allegations of a cover-up and also allegations that Shoma Chaudhury did not act as required by the Vishakha guidelines.
Her resignation comes even as she wrote a letter to the victim yesterday denying that she was siding with Tejpal and that she had wronged her. In her resignation letter, Shoma yet again rejected the allegation of a cover-up. She said she was quitting because over the past few days, her integrity has been repeatedly questioned by people from the media and by the public at large. But despite the resignation, Shoma has drawn criticism from various quarters, especially because of her handling of the entire controversy. In fact, some even believe that Shoma has done more damage than good by stepping down.
Let us do what we are supposed to.
If Shoma has resigned, I don't know whether there was enough left for her. She would have probably continued to defend it. Would have been quite a big challenge from what has happened. And the way she handled the follow-up. In fact, she could have rescued Tehelka by responding the way she responds for others' complaints. Because this was a clear-cut case of criminal act, she should have handed over the matter to the police, called the police and saying, take Rajpal in your custody. He's committed a crime. Obviously knows that she mishandled it. I think probably she knows how to comment on others, but she didn't know how to handle her own issue.
Let me specify that it was Tarun Tejpal who started by suggesting that the BJP is after him because he is so-called secular. The BJP is not bothered about Tejpal's allegiances, whether it's BJP or Congress. But clearly we are bothered about a culprit who has exerted and misused his power on a 23-year-old and who suggests that in the trial he is the judge for himself, which is not going to happen.
Shoma Chaudhury in particular handled the whole crisis disgracefully from the start. I heard her on television trying to explain that she got to know about it late, and I don't buy that. She tried to do an internal solution, tried to lighten the offence. Shoma Chaudhury, who was well informed on the subject, knew the law, knew the amended sections of the Indian Penal Code, how things had been tightened up and made more rigorous. There was no excuse for doing what she did.
I'm a bit surprised and taken aback because she's been a very courageous woman, journalist, and she was sitting in the hot seat and at the head of an organization after the allegations against Tarun Tejpal, and with so many other resignations having taken place in the last days. Her going, to me, spells the beginning of the end of Tehelka as an organization.
शोमा चौधरी बोल कम करके काम अधिक करना चाहिए था, विक्टिम को सपोर्ट में करना चाहिए था, वो किया नहीं है. बहुत बोल करके अपना बचाव किया है. उसमें सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट भी है. मुझे लगता है जो उन्होंने 10-15% जो शेयर उन्होंने रखा है ना जी, उसको बचाने चक्कर पर फर्स्ट इंटरेस्ट थी इंस्टेड ऑफ विक्टिम को सपोर्ट करने के वास्ते.
Meanwhile, the BJP in Delhi has scored a political self-goal with just days to go for the polls. As these pictures show, BJP workers, especially Vijay Jolly, protested outside Shoma Chaudhury's residence this afternoon, led by former South Delhi MLA Vijay Jolly. BJP workers even defaced a nameplate. For a while, the former Tehelka managing editor was not even able to enter her car. Leader of opposition Shoma Chaudhury has now criticized Jolly's actions. The NCW has asked the police to file an FIR.
पार्टी का इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है, लेकिन जहां तक उन्होंने किया है, मैं उसकी कभी भी अनुशंसा नहीं कर सकती, कभी भी उससे सहमत नहीं हो सकती कि ये एक असभ्य तरीका है और जिसको उन्होंने अपनाया है. और मैंने और अरुण जी ने मना किया था, उसके बावजूद किया है. कार्रवाई तो करेंगे अध्यक्ष जी, लेकिन मैं पुरजोर निंदा करती हूँ जिसकी